Does Adolf Hitler exist in the Fallout universe? That's the whole question, and the answer is way more interesting than yes or no. Because Fallout is not only a post-apocalyptic game, but rather alternate history altogether. And once you understand exactly where that history splits from our timeline, it opens up a rabbit hole that most people never even thought to look for. Most people who play Fallout think of it as a game about nukes and wastelands and falling in love with the Deathclaw. Unless I've been playing the wrong game. Underneath all of that, it's an alternate history version of Earth where at some specific point in the past, the timeline split from ours and went in a completely different direction. That split point is called the Divergence. The exact time and date of the Divergence has deliberately been left unclear by the series creators, but they've confirmed it occurred approximately around the end of World War II. The world of Fallout diverges from our own somewhere between 1945 and 1961. More specifically, it's after 1947, when transistors were popularized in our world but not in Fallout. That's where the split becomes technically significant. What this means is that everything before that point, including World War II, happened in Fallout's universe essentially the same way it happened in ours. So yes, my evil ex's great-granddad was alive, which means yes, Hitler existed in the Fallout universe. Now, ignoring the fact that I just admitted to have dated Adolf Hitler's great-granddaughter, in the original Fallout intro, an image of the Reichstag in Berlin appears, and Adolf Hitler is directly mentioned by name.
Spain built an empire from its lust for gold and territory. Hitler shaped a battered Germany into an economic superpower. But war never changes.
The game doesn't hide or dance around it. World War II definitely happened. Hitler was there and Germany did what Germany did. The US declaration of war on Germany was scavenged from the National Archives and placed inside Abraham Washington's museum in Fallout 3. So someone had to have found that document in the rubble of a nuclear apocalypse and decided it was worth preserving. The Nazis and their Enigma machines are mentioned in the Pioneer Scout Codebreaker exam in Fallout 76. 200 years after nuclear war, and the Scout program is still teaching kids about Nazi cryptography. The Wasteland is a weird fucking place, man. The Museum of Freedom mural honors the US Armed Forces sacrifice made on the shores of Iwo Jima. The Anchorage Memorial, one of the most prominent monuments in the capital Wasteland, is directly based on an iconic image from World War II. These aren't simple Easter eggs randomly squeezed in by the devs. The confirmation that World War II in the Fallout universe played out the way it did in ours. And crucially, the US issued a formal declaration of war against Germany on December 11, 1941, with the endorsement of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Same as our timeline with the same president. So my ex's Adolf Hitler existed. All of that is canon. In the original Fallout, during a conversation with the Master, he says the line,
"We need one race.
Race.
One goal.
Goal.
One people to move forward to our destiny.
This is in reference to Adolf Hitler's infamous propaganda slogan, Ein Reich, ein Volk, ein Führer. Führer. Excuse my German, sorry. Which translates to one empire, one people, one leader. Divergence happens after World War II ends, which means in the Fallout universe, the Nuremberg trials happened and the Cold War started the same way ours did. Except in Fallout's version, it never really ended. The USSR never dissolved in the Fallout universe. The Berlin Wall almost certainly never came down, and America never experienced the Vietnam War. In our world, post-war Germany went through decades-long process of denazification, reunification, and becoming a modern democratic state. While in Fallout's world, where the Cold War never ended and the USSR never collapsed, Germany was almost certainly still divided in 2077 when the bombs dropped. Nazi Germany's influence on the Fallout universe didn't end with Hitler. Several weapons in Fallout are explicitly described as German designs. The PPK-12 Gauss pistol, the Vindicator minigun, and the M72 Gauss rifle are all confirmed German-engineered weapons. Post-war German engineering survived the apocalypse and is still being used to slime raiders in the wasteland 200 years later. The city of Kronach is mentioned as the hometown of Vault-Tec scientist Stanislaus Braun, one of the most sinister figures in Fallout 3, responsible for the experiments that trapped people in a simulated reality forever. A German scientist working for an American corporation running experiments and captured humans. The parallels aren't subtle at all. A Fallout 3 character named Michael Masters was inspired to work on super soldier research after being inspired by the work of German, Russian, and Chinese doctors. The super soldier program that Masters was contributing to is a direct echo of Nazi medical experimentation. and the game acknowledges the lineage explicitly. And then there's the Brotherhood of Steel. People have pointed out for years that the Brotherhood carries uncomfortable... Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I saying? Fuck! People have pointed out for years that the Brotherhood carries uncomfortable echoes of Nazi aesthetics, the authoritarian hierarchy and their obsession with racial and genetic purity when it comes to who gets to join. Some fans have argued that the Brotherhood and the Enclave are both heavily influenced by Nazi history. Whether intentional or not, the ideology that Hitler built didn't vanish when he died in Fallout's universe. It just mutated into something new. If this is the kind of lore archaeology you've been missing, subscribe. Every video I act like a complete idiot and beg you to like and subscribe. Back to the video, sorry. Now, Wald, the defeat of Nazi Germany was followed by denazification, war crimes trials, and eventually a genuine cultural reckoning. The Fallout universe is described as a world where an antagonistic paranoid view of communism common to the 1950s remained a part of everyday North American life all the way to 2077. If Liberty Prime screaming that death is preferable to communism isn't a sign, I don't know what is. It's the logical endpoint of society that spent 130 years in Cold War mode without ever processing anything else. In a world that obsessed over communism for over a century, fascism was the enemy that got defeated and filed away. Never examined or brought up again. Just stepped over and moved on from. Jesus, everything reminds me of my ex. Which is maybe the most uncomfortable thing about the Fallout universe and its relationship to Hitler's legacy. So, does Hitler exist in the Fallout universe? Yes, confirmed by the games directly. World War II happened, Hitler led Nazi Germany, and the Allies fought and won. All of that is canon. But he left behind a divided Germany and a Cold War that never ended. That war metastasized into something that dropped nuclear bombs on itself in 2077. The bombs that ended the Fallout universe weren't dropped by Hitler, they were dropped by governments that had learned absolutely nothing from the war that stopped him. War never changes, and they meant that literally. If you enjoyed the video, please help me find my ex so I can enact my revenge and subscribe. Drop a comment with the historical rabbit hole you want me to pull on next. I read everything because I only get like 2 comments per video. I'll be gone now. Thanks.